In CSS, the topic which I am going to tell today is most important because uh, because the way how CSS works is always confusing if you don't know the rule how the CSS styles will get applied to the elements. So I will take one example. Okay, so in general, CSS styles we can write in three places. One is that in the external style sheet we can write the CSS styles, and we can include the file within our HTML file, like using the link tag with href is equal to that CSS style file, the CSS file path we can use. Here I have a mystyle.css file which is adjacent to this my HTML page. That's the reason why I didn't specify any path here. So both are side by side are there in the folder. That's why I have not specified the path. So you can see this is the external CSS file. That means the styles written in this file will get imported here at this place and will apply to the elements appropriately. So, and second place where you can specify the styles is internal. That means by using a style tag inside the HTML page, style starting tag and ending tag, between that we can specify the CSS styles. This is the second place where you can specify the CSS styles. So the styles we specify within this style tag are in the same way we specify the styles here in this. There is no syntactical difference between those two places. It is the similar way. So the other third place where we can specify the styles is inline. Inline means inside the element. So for suppose here I have a body element. So inside the body I can specify the style attribute. You can use the style attribute is equal to property CSS property and its value with a semicolon. So if I have one more property, I will use the property. For suppose I have property color colon red. So like that I will keep on adding the property and its value with the semicolon in the inline style. Okay, so you may get confused which style will finally applies to this body, because we specified here background red in the internal style sheet, and in the external style sheet also we specified the background color as yellow. So external is yellow and internal is red and inline is blue. So then which color will get applied to the background? This is most important. So we also specified the color red here. So obviously because there is no conflict between the any other selectors for this property color red color, so color red will get applied to the text within this body. So if I open this particular page, refresh, I have not specified, I have not saved this. Yeah, I saved now. Now we can see the color applied to the text is red, because um, there is no confusion here for the color property. The text color means the text color property, because the color is not given anywhere here. In the internal style sheet we have not given, in the external style sheet also for the text color we have not given anything. That's the reason why color red will apply from here, obviously. So for suppose here if you see background color red we have given in internal and external inline, then which one should apply? So yellow or blue or red, which one should apply? So it takes this order. Okay, the order is like this. First it will take the order in which the external or internal styles are loaded in the page. That means it takes the here specifying the internal style sheet first. So here it will load this first. So it will be body background color red. At the end of this style execution it will be red. Then the external file got loaded. Then it will be background yellow. So till then it is background yellow. That means if you don't specify here the background color in internal, in the inline CSS, if you don't specify the background inline, so we got yellow. That means from where we got yellow? That means we have not specified in we have not specified the yellow color in internal. That means from the external. So how it has taken the external style. So then now if I change the order, that means I will write this style below to the external side sheet. So which style will get applied now? So you see it came red. That means because external style sheet is loaded first and the background color became yellow, and then internal style it loaded because the order in which the style loaded, the styles are coming. The last one will persist. So now we have the body background red. That's why the last one persisted and it is red. So if we give inline style as well, so what will happen? If we give inline style as well, background blue, that means now inline style took the precedence. Now blue came the picture. So it is this order. It always goes first the CSS internal or external, the order in which they have loaded. Okay, then the inline style will get applied. This is correct only when there is a conflicting CSS property. That means the property is conflicting between the places for the same selector, because I have given the body here, I have given the body only in the external, I have given the style to body only here also. Because there is a conflict for the selector, the CSS property will get the value from where that order is. I am telling about. So it always checks in the internal or external the order in which we have loaded. So the last one will persist, and if we have inline also, then inline will persist the last. So this is the order. Styles will get loaded. Styles will get applied. External or internal CSS order, then inline CSS will take. So that's the order in which the styles will get applied. So that's the reason why now inline style got more precedence, so blue came. So apart from this, there are other places where it is difficult to know which style will get applied to which element. So for suppose, I will tell you one more example. Div dot some cls I have given. Okay, so that is the element has a class. If the element has a class which is with cls, so what will happen now? So what will happen now? So I will remove this background color. No, no, let it be there. Let it be there. We'll see. So still it didn't change because see there is some order in which it follows, that we need to know. Okay, if I remove this background color, so there is no conflict with the inline, and there is only conflict with the internal and external. Internal is having body cls and external is having just body. So now which style will get applied? Because the order is inline, internal, then external, so that means external style will should get applied. That means the background color should be the background color should be yellow, but it became red. How it became red? Because there is a more weight here. So what is weight? What is the weight? CSS weight. So apart from the order the CSS styles are loading and the inline style, there is other logic, because of which the styles are getting applied following some order. Because here you were clearly understood, right? So this style should have been replaced by this style, but they didn't. Why it didn't replaced? So here also, if I write body background black, if I write, so is the black color will get applied? No, it didn't apply. It only applied red. What has happened? But the order here, if you see, body dot cls, after that body came. That means the second one should persist. according to the CSS rules, but still the first one is taking the precedence. Reason why it is taking the first one, because the first one is having the more weightage. How do we say the first one is having the more weightage? Because along with the element selector we are giving the class selector also, so this weightage became more. How we are calculating the weightage, CSS weightage, that is most important. When there is a property which is conflicting between the selectors which are targeted to a same element. So here background CSS property is targeted to the same element body. See, here also body, here also body. So in this case, how the property value will get resolved for the particular element is based on the CSS rule engine or CSS specificity. There is a order, there is a mathematical logic which it follows, which style should get applied. Even though the order, even though we have the styles in the order, but it won't take the last style always, because it just calculates the weightage, and whichever is having the more weightage it will take that. If both having the more weightage, it will take the last selector value. Okay, so this is how the CSS rule engine works. We'll see what is the rule engine, how this works. So I have taken the rule engine logic here. I am giving the logic to you. So that means it actually calculates the value for each part in the CSS selector. So here body is a part and CLS class is a part. So how the style applied to this? So that logic we will see. So in the selector, if we have an element, or we can say it as a tag. If the tag is having, or element is having in the selector, so like that we just saw the body is there. So for that it will come one. It will come one as the weightage. It just, if it just having one element, then that weightage will be 1. If it is having two elements, the weightage will be 2. So here if you see paragraph parenthesis I have given, so this uh, selector will get the weightage as 1. So next, if the selector is having a class in the selector, so that will get 1 in the 10th place. That means here if you see, yeah, I will explain about that. And id selector will be having 1 in the 100th place. Inline style means it will have 1 in the 1000th place. Important means the property will get 1 in the 10,000th place. So according to this order the styles will get applied. We have to sum up them. So for suppose here if you have just a paragraph element, this weightage is 1. If you have div space p, that means we have two elements. Two elements, 1 plus 1, 2 weightage. This weightage is 2. That means p selector, if we have styles within the p selector, something like color red, here also div space p within this here color space blue. If you have, for suppose we think there it is red and here it is black, I am just writing r and blue. I am not writing entire style, just because it is not a code. So now which color will get applied? Blue color will get applied, irrespective of the order. The reason is that this is having more weightage. This weightage is more. This is selector weightage is more. Div space p means 1 plus 1, 2 weightage. That's why this style will get applied. Even though it came before or after to this p selector, it doesn't depend on that. It will just come this style. If for suppose if you have one more p like this, just p, if you don't have div prefixed here, so that means both having the same weightage. This weightage is also 1. So what will happen, the order in which these two came, it depends on that the property style will resolve. So because this paragraph is lost, this style will get applied. If this paragraph red is lost here if it is there, the red will get applied. So when there is a same weightage, it takes the last selector style. So when there is weightage, different weightage, it always takes the styles from a more weightage selector. So that's how here. The next is that, so because we just ran a simple example here, we'll see now here. So this body dot cls, what here it is having. Yeah, before that we need to see here one more thing. Yeah, that's it, we'll see. Yeah, so here we having a body and class both having. So body is an element, so it will have weight is 1, and the class will have weightage. We have told class weightage is 1 in the tens place. That means weightage 10 weightage it will come. So 10 plus 1 it is 11. 11 weightage will be coming for this. So for this it is only 1. So that's the reason why, because there is a weightage difference here. For the conflicting CSS property, more weightage selector style will get applied. That means because body plus element plus class selector weightage is 11, this style will get applied. That means red will get applied to this element. According to that, here red came for the background color. So the next example here, you can see that div space p dot final. That means we are selecting a paragraph element which is having the final class, and which is actually having a parent or a grandparent as a div. That means p should be within the div anywhere in the hierarchy. P should be within the div, and that p should have the class as final. Then only that particular style will get applied. But the weightage to this, if you say, okay, the weightage to this when compared to the above one is more. The reason is that div space p is having the weightage as just 2, because 2 elements it is having. But here div space p dot final, that means 2 elements here it is having. 2 plus 10. 10 why? Because the class selector will have weightage as 10. Here we have seen, right, element and pseudo elements will have 1 in the ones place. That means only 1 to place the weightage will get added. So if you have one element, 1 will come. If you have two elements, 2 will come. If you have three elements, 3 will come. If you have one element, one pseudo elements, 2 will come, because 1 plus 1 2. So like that the weightage will come. So for the class and pseudo class attributes, it is 10 for each of each one of these. It is 10 10 10. If you have two classes, two tens, that means 20. Like that it comes. So here p space div space p plus final is having, div space p dot final is having the weightage as 12. So next is id. So id selector will have the weightage in the 100th place. That's the why hash id, whichever id name we give, this will get the weightage as 100. That means it is more weightage than here whatever we have seen here, the element selector or the class selector.